What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Wrestling Junkies podcast of Mr. Cincinnati. And as always, I'm joined by the podcast dad himself. Troops, what's going on, man? How are you?
Fantastic, because do you see what's on my head?
I see what is on your head. I see it.
I have asked,
I see it.
I have pleaded, I have begged. It's finally here. Shout out to Gorilla Press for this awesome hat that I will probably be wearing every goddamn episode. And also thank you for all the other stuff.
Yes, shout out to the crew. We got some amazing new swag in last week. You can get yours at GorillaPressApparel.BigCartel.com. Promo code WJB20. Yeah, WJP 2024 gets you 25% off site wide. Sorry, rush hour traffic has me a little flustered here, and I need to grab myself a high noon to calm down a little bit. But shout out to Will and the crew. You can get the hat. We've got the official Gorilla Press Apparel hoodie. You can also find the Wrestle Sips t-shirt here as well. You do not want to miss out on that. Podcast dad, I think I froze up there for half a fucking second, and I can't tell if
it's okay. I can hear you. You
okay.
are frozen, but that's okay.
All right, that's better now.
You're back.
Okay.
You're back.
All right.
Here we go.
And I want to get through all this really quickly. We got a guest that we want to jump to, and he is way more interesting than I am right now. So thank you guys so much for joining us. Follow us on X and TikTok at Junkies Pod. Like us on Facebook. Follow us on Instagram at Wrestling Junkies Pod. But most importantly, subscribe to our YouTube channel. We are on the road to 500 subscribers. We need your help to get there. Podcast dad, tell our friends what they should do.
Tell one person if you like what we're doing here, if you have some fun, if you need some wrestling merch. We know a couple of guys, but hey, just subscribe to the channel and you can find out all this awesome information.
Yes. And Podcast Dad, it is a big week for the Main Event Network. We have something that we've certainly never done before, and it's going to be a hell of an endeavor. But starting this Friday from 8 p.m. going into Saturday night's main event this weekend, a 24-hour Main Event Wrestling Network live stream. Everybody is getting involved in this. The likes of the IW Guide podcast, the Great Brown Hope. Tino's going to be doing some live streams. The On the Mark boards are doing their thing. The Wrestling Junkies, our time slot, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Have some breakfast with the Wrestling Junkies. Grab yourself a mimosa, a Bloody Mary, a Bloody Maria, a breakfast shot, what have you. There's a perfect time to join us, and I gotta tell you, man, this is gonna be awesome. Even though my camera is just going fucking haywire right now.
It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great, no matter what Eric's camera thinks. It's gonna be great.
So far we're off.
I don't know what did you say? A Bloody Maria? I don't know what that is.
Yeah, it's the same thing, just tequila instead of vodka in your Bloody Mary.
Oh my goodness! Don't talk to me like that.
I'm just saying, I am not a Bloody Mary guy myself. So.
I love Bloody Marys. I'll learn how to make it for the stream. That's what we'll do. I'll learn how to make it. But yeah, excited.
I like it.
We're gonna have some fun.
Yeah, I think 24 hours of Main Event Wrestling Network content. You guys do not want to miss this. Seriously, we're super, super excited about this. We've got some special guests lined up that we'll be announcing in the next couple of days as well. But again, Friday night, going into Saturday, 24 hours, Main Event Wrestling Network. That's enough for the plugs. It's already taken me entirely too long to get through these. It's time to introduce our guest. We have been pretty fortunate, I gotta say, Podcast Dad, over the last 2 years of doing the show, that we have just met some really fucking cool people on the internet. Is that fair to say?
It is, and that's hard to do nowadays, to meet really cool people on the internet, because most of them suck.
Yeah. Yes. But this guy does not. We've had a chance to see his content all over TikTok. And once I saw his first few videos, I knew we had to have him on here. So super, super excited for this. He is the founder of Rope Break Media. Please welcome Josh to the show. Josh, what's going on, man? How are you?
Doing good, guys. How's it going?
You're kind of seeing a little bit behind the scenes, but it's good. It's good. Eric's loving it.
We got a little light show going on, I don't know, a little rave action, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, but we're here now. It's working.
Yes, we are. Yeah, but Josh, before we get started here, tell our audience a little bit about you. How'd you get into wrestling? How did you start Rope Break Media? Give us a scoop, man.
Well, that's a great question. So I was into wrestling when I was a kid. First of all, I'm from Los Angeles, California. Would say born and raised, but I was born in San Diego, from LA, living in Chicago now. Chicago's a great wrestling city. I liked wrestling when I was a kid. I think I took like a decade break, and then I moved to Chicago, and it's like such a big thing here. And then WrestleMania 40 happened, and I fell in love again, So I decided like a couple months ago, I really wanted to change things up and, I went to school for sports communications. So I was like, maybe I'll be a journalist or something. And now I'm like, oh, let's see what I can do with some wrestling content. I'm into it. I have a little bit of historical knowledge going back to like when I was a kid. So yeah, so I've just been doing it for the last couple months and enjoying the ride.
So what do you enjoy most about today's product? Like, what are you seeing right now that kind of got you back into it?
Number one is the guys who are the main event scene. I remember when they were in WWE in like 2012, 2013, like the Shield. I saw the Shield debut, and now Roman and Seth are the top of the company, and Mox is doing his stuff with AEW. Like, it's cool for me to like, I saw them before that they were what they are now. So that's number one. Number two, I enjoy the storylines. I enjoy the writing more than it like was in the past. Like, I don't know. I just feel like it's a little bit more captivating. The Bloodline stuff was really great. And I've gone back and watched stuff from like 2020, 2021, 2022, stuff that I didn't watch live. And I'm like, this is a significantly better product than it used to be. So that's what really roped me back in.
I gotta hand it to you. There are not very many people that say I'll go back and watch WWE in 2021 or 2022.
Yeah.
Thunderdome era of like, I'm going back down there for memory lane for old time's sake. So it's
I had to see what everybody was talking about, and I get it. I totally get it. The COVID stuff was weird. Like I'm totally of that mindset, but I don't know. Just seeing like the change, and even since like Triple H took over, like. I don't know. I really enjoy Triple H's booking. I know people like complain about that, but I enjoy it for the most part. I know it's not all on him. So,
oh man, people complain about it. Go back.
People complain about anything though.
10 years ago. Go back 10 years ago. Watch that stuff. You can't complain about it. There was so much crap that we had to sit through.
I was sitting with my friend on the couch. This was on Friday night, and we're like looking to watch an old Royal Rumble, and we looked. I don't remember what year it was, but it was whatever year Alberto Del Rio won. And I was like, Alberto Del Rio won the Rumble and he eliminated Santino Marella. Think about that. Yeah. That was the last two. Like, that's not happening anymore, at least for the most part. So,
yeah. Well, it's just the fact that Del Rio won in the first place. That was the bad part. But we're past that. We're past that.
We're past that. We're past that.
Fingers crossed.
Fever dream for sure.
It was. So who? Let's start. Kind of like who were your favorites when you first started, and then who are your favorites now?
Ooh, Jeff Hardy, number one. Yep. I met him at the Royal Rumble this year. Actually, I met Jeff, Matt, and the Dudleys, so that was great. Jeff, number one. I'm a big Cena kid. Randy Orton. Mark Henry. I really loved Mark Henry. Also met him at the Rumble. I feel like the late 2000s, early 2010s, like those were my guys. I was a big fan of Seth when he was a heel and running with the Authority. So I've always loved him. And then CM Punk for sure.
Nice. Well, I mean, let's talk heel Seth Rollins now. I mean, we're seeing this new alliance with Bron Breakker, Paul Heyman. Saturday night's main event is around the corner, and looks like it's going to be CM Punk and Sami Zayn teaming up right now. But there was a little bit of a tease last week at the end of Raw, 3 against 2. So just tell us a little bit about what you think of this heel turn so far, this new group with Seth Rollins, Bron Breakker, Paul Heyman. If you have the opportunity to pick a third man for this group, who is it?
It's a great question. Number one, I love Braun with Paul, and I think Braun being with Seth just like elevates him into that main event category. Obviously, like we know he's not winning a title anytime soon. Like we got to build him up into that. But I really like what they're doing. If I had to add a third member off the rip, I did say Drew McIntyre. I thought that he would be a really great fit with them, just especially like Seth's enemies are Drew's enemies, and maybe I don't know. There's a world where obviously Seth and Drew don't really like each other, but they join up because they hate these people so much. But that was like my original thought. I would really like the idea of Sami Zayn too. And I think that that's what they're setting up. I talked about it in a video where the shots just look very similar. It's obviously not the same type of stakes behind it, but the shots of the Shield when Seth turned on them and the shot of what ended Raw with Sami, CM Punk, and Jay the other day.
Yeah,
very simple.
And there it is. Yeah, we've got it.
Yeah, there it is. There it is. Moment. So I saw that on Twitter and I was like, wow. I don't know. And the fact that Triple H was involved in the storyline up top and he's producing the other one, it's like, I find it hard to believe that like it's not related in some way.
No, there's always something behind his
Yeah.
booking. It seems. It seems like
yeah.
there's always an Easter egg or a crumb that we have to kind of hold on to or look at further down the line. Yeah, no, I do enjoy that. I want to move it over and pivot a little bit to SmackDown, just to get this off my chest. Solo Sikoa is in the Money in the Bank. All right, is he going to win this?
I hope not, but I wouldn't be surprised considering he was a focal point of the main event scene for most of 2024. And I don't think a lot of people give him credit. I try to give him a lot of credit when, he was holding it down while Roman wasn't there and Punk wasn't, wrestling just yet, so we got to give him his flowers a little bit. Would I put the case on him? No, probably not. But I wouldn't rule it out.
I thought he did a great job with his promo, with him mocking Jacob. I thought I got to see a little bit more personality out of him. Like he's talking a little bit more. He's not like the silent tribal chief anymore that he was trying to be. I enjoy seeing a little bit of the personality come out. Sucks that Rey Fenix is not going to be in that ladder match because I think Phoenix has lost a little bit of momentum, especially coming off a Mania loss, and now we have probably not going to be on Money in the Bank. I know they're doing some stuff on Raw. We getting the Lucha Brothers sooner rather than later, it kind of looks like. I'm not sure, but
the difference in booking between him and Penta, like off the rip, is it's mind blowing. I don't know, and I know Penta, like I think Penta is more marketable than Rey Fenix, just from like how like weird he is and like how different he is. But I also think that's a byproduct of going to SmackDown. It's like they're just not as deep. I think you could throw Penta into that IC title picture right away because they had 3 guys in it that were already pretty established and like in a good spot already. And he was able to slide into a fatal 4-way, like seeming like very smoothly, considering he's only been there for 2 months at that point, 3 months. So
he's got the charisma that Phoenix doesn't. Like that's what it is. When he comes out, like all eyes are on him. He's got that charisma. He's got the connection with the fans already. There's everything about it. It is kind of, I don't want to say night and day, but kind of night and day. So interested to see what they do with Phoenix on SmackDown, and if maybe we get that move to Raw sooner rather than later, or maybe Penta goes to SmackDown sooner rather than later. I'm not totally sure.
Yeah, I think they're going to need to do some shuffling with the tag teams here pretty soon because I think a couple are going to break up, and they're going to need a couple there.
There's one in particular that I want to break up. I'm interested to see who you think is breaking up.
I think they're finally doing the Waller series split. I think that's finally coming. I just think now it's becoming like now we're going back-to-back weeks where they're kind of like screwing each other over. Mm-hmm. I don't know. We'll see there. But I'm like the Judgment Day's got to be breaking up soon, I think, or maybe.
How long we've been saying that?
I've been saying it for months, but I'm like, now it's more apparent than ever. Yep. Dom, and I think Dom has transcended the judge. Like he's bigger than
he's outgrown
it. Yeah, he's outgrown it for sure. And look at what happened with Damian and Rio once they outgrew it. It's like, well, they're out. Set him on his own. Keep Dom and Liv together though. I want them to.
Yeah. I do like that storyline. What do you think about Austin Theory joining that group with Seth Rollins?
I would enjoy it. I think he needs something, and maybe it's not to turn him face, but maybe it's to elevate him into something bigger, and that's what it would be. I think that's the only thing that would keep him from turning face. If not, you turn him face and you slide him into, maybe you go back to SmackDown and slide him into the U.S. title picture. Even though the U.S. title picture now is a little interesting because it's like, who is realistically going to beat Jacob Fatu for that title? Realistically, I don't know.
What's his name? I can't remember his name. Jeff Cobb? I don't know his name. What?
Jeff Cobb? Yeah,
Mateo or whatever they're calling him. Like, he
can do Aleister Black. Yeah.
Aleister Black. I still think Solo probably is going to take it off of him. Maybe, I don't know. Don't win the Money in the Bank and cash in on the U.S. title. That's all I'm asking. Don't do that.
Please don't do that. As long as they don't cash it in on the same show. Like, let's hold it for a little bit, and let's have
I
both
agree.
of them held for a little bit.
Yes,
That's fun.
We've done the kind of quick cash in, and it was fun at first, but we don't need to do it every year.
Yeah, no. And also just like Drew saying before the Money in the Bank, he's like, oh, I'm definitely cashing this in. I'm like, okay. Like, he's going to win it. Like, he's definitely going to win it now. So that was just.
And he won it. We all got excited, and then he lost.
Yep. Yeah.
And that's dumb. But I completely forgot he won it, actually, because of how quickly he cashed that in.
And that's unfortunate.
It is. It is. On the women's side, Alexa Bliss is in the Money in the Bank. Over, I think, one of the favorites that a lot of people had, Chelsea Green.
Mhm.
Eric, what do you think about that?
It's bittersweet because we've been waiting for Alexa to have this moment since she came back to the Rumble, and everybody like that. It was the loudest pop of the night, and there's been next to no follow up with it. Chelsea Green's continuing to do some of the best work of her career right now, taking the U.S. title and the Secret Service and turning this into something that has helped to get Piper Niven over. It's something that's helped gotten Alba Fire over now that Isla Dawn has been released from the company. It's given everybody these fun storylines. And she, even in losing the title, she's finding a way to keep herself relevant and keep herself part of that title picture by having the period of mourning and things like that. It sucks, but I think that there's something larger at play here involving Alexa Bliss and potentially Charlotte Flair. We're seeing the interactions with them as of late and going back to some very real, it seems like, behind the scenes history of they happen to be, somewhat friendly in the NXT days. And obviously, these are tale of two entirely different careers. They both had their successes, but Charlotte has kind of been in a league of her own. But we've been saying this basically since Charlotte returned, and then this is a criticism of the women's division as a whole right now, is there needs to be more feuds away from the championships that are keeping everybody busy and keeping people engaged in what, again, they have the deepest women's roster probably in the world right now. Charlotte Flair doesn't need to be anywhere near the title right now. She lost at WrestleMania, as she should have. Let's give her a redemption arc, and doing something with Alexa Bliss could potentially set us up for something fun between the two of them. It's time to humanize Charlotte and bring a little bit of Ashley into that character if you want any shot of anybody having any remote interest in anything that she's doing in WWE right now.
That's fair. I'm not interested in Charlotte at the moment, so that's fine. We can have that.
I completely agree. The question is, would they be heel or face? Like, is Alexa gonna turn heel and be a heel little, maybe even form like a little stable? Like, I don't know. I think the writing's on the wall though that Charlotte's gonna lose to Julia on Friday, and that's gonna kind of push her towards Alexa a little bit more. So I think that's definitely the way you got to go. Especially they got to build up Julia if she's the superstar that they want her to be. She can't be losing that tag match on Raw and then lose the qualifying match the week after. Kind of similar to what we were saying about Rhea Phoenix earlier. It's like we got to get some good wins under their belts, put some credibility behind them. So we'll see.
I think she has to win that qualifying match. I don't think they should go any other direction with that qualifying match, to be honest.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Yeah.
And then get Roxanne in it tonight and have them go at it.
Who else is in that triple threat with Roxanne?
It's Becky and Natalia.
Okay, so
yeah,
Roxanne should win.
And Natty's counting the lights.
Yeah, she should.
I'm sorry. I like what she's doing everywhere else than WWE right now. Like, we're getting the edge.
Becky's not taking the pin, though. Like, we know that. Like, we know that.
It's no.
Becky Hogan's not taking a pin in a triple threat. It's not happening.
Whoa. You're gonna get us in trouble. Don't do that. She's gonna come after us.
Oh my god.
No,
actually, I like Becky, but I just like the name.
let's look at it as a whole. Money in the Bank wise, obviously, I think we've made it clear we don't want Solo to win. But men's side, it's kind of wide open. Do you have a pick? And then, we'll flip it to the women's side. Is there someone in particular that you want to see holding these briefcases? I'll start with Josh.
If LA Knight doesn't win this year, I think he's done. I think the wave is going to calm and the fire is going to simmer. Like, I think it's like people have been asking for this for a while. So I think LA Knight is a very logical choice. My sleeper, though, considering what has been going on the internet, is Karrion Kross. I don't know if they just catapult him into the main event scene just because he's selling T-shirts, right? But if they want to do something crazy with him and kind of capitalize on his popularity, that could be something. So, but if I had to pick, I'm going LA Knight.
Okay. How about the women's side?
The women. See, I think that's a lot tougher. I'd love to put it on Alexa because I think Alexa, deserves another run with either the world or the WWE Women's Championship. Like, absolutely. If I wanted to put it on an up-and-comer, though, I'm putting it on Roxanne Perez, 1,000%. Like, she would make for a great... She owned the NXT Women's Championship, and that whole division ran laps around it multiple times. She would make for a great champ right now. And she'd be the youngest champ in the company by far. I think she's only like 24.
23.
Like
yeah, she's the youngest member of the roster, I think, overall.
Yeah.
And
R-Truth, she could absolutely. That's crazy. That's right. Well, according to John Cena, R-Truth's 150 actually. So
yes, he is. John Cena using logic.
Yeah,
he's ruining professional wrestling. Remember that, folks.
Exactly.
I do like those picks. I would agree with Roxanne. I think Roxanne should win it. On the other side, and they haven't. It's hard because we don't know the field yet, but I kind of want Carmelo Hayes to win it on the men's side because, man, I think he needs something. He needs something to do. I know he's feuding with Alistair right now, but he doesn't have to cash in right away. You can build this up. You can it gives him. I don't want him to be with the Miz. I don't want that. I want Carmelo Hayes to do something, and I think putting the briefcase on him gives him, at least for the next 6-7 months, something interesting about him. I mean, it fits his personality, it fits the character, it fits everything about Mellow in the Bank. Like you have T-shirts printed already. Like it's there. That's who I want to see. Do I think it's going to happen? Probably not. But man, that if I'm fantasy booking, Carmelo Hayes is my men's Money in the Bank. That
gives me Dolph Ziggler vibes. I don't know why, but I think it's very similar. Like very similar types of wrestlers. So,
and I think you can also kind of look at it from the perspective of if for some reason you're just not liking the trajectory of Mello in the Bank after you put the briefcase on him, it would not be the first time that the briefcase has been defended where the Miz has walked out with it. As all like for whatever grief you give the Miz as far as where his spot is on the roster right now, he, much like Edge, is an opportunist at his core. That if you give him an opportunity to get within sniffing different distance of the WWE Championship, he finds a way to come in and take it. This is, again, he counts the lights a lot, but that's always been the formula behind a Money in the Bank briefcase holder of some degree, is that there's a pretty shitty losing streak that comes with it because they want that win to be so much more when it actually happens. That if it, Mello, I like the idea of him with Money in the Bank. If it doesn't work out, you can flip it to Miz real quick. My pick is going to be Mello's contemporary in NXT, Bron Breakker. This new collective with Rollins and Heyman, they need to start adding some accolades to the ranks sooner than later. It's a matter of when, not if, Rollins will be world champion. But for now, put that on Braun to just tease the fact that there might be some dissension between the ranks. And then once you have the Sami Zayn story in the mix there's a lot of ways that you can kind of parse that out. But Braun, that briefcase was tailor-made for that, man. So give me Bron Breakker.
I don't hate it at all.
I can see some writing on the wall with that. You maybe have Seth win the title after Braun already has this briefcase, and then they're like, we're taking over the whole thing now, not just Raw. You're going to go after, the other title. And then, they slowly realize, maybe he can't do that. Whoever's holding the title at that point, maybe it's Cena, Cody, whoever. And it's like, well, now I got to go after you, Seth. And then that builds.
Yep.
And I could totally see that.
Yeah, there's too much fun to be had with them. And, at this point, put every accolade on him that you can and just give him that evolution energy. And Papa H knows what he's doing in that respect.
Yeah.
There's another one that's a pretty big name that nobody has mentioned here. And I know, Eric, you're against it, but what about Gunther?
Please, no.
Nope.
No.
Thank you. Thank you.
Why not?
I just like since Gunther's come into WWE, he's been in, title after title picture, chasing a title. Like, let's give him something else to do. I want to see some range, like let him be a nasty badass.
Goldberg.
That's happening, whether people like it or not. That is 100%
we
happening.
don't, but it's
SummerSlam night too. Yep.
It's gonna be what it is, But yeah, I don't know. I feel like the booking on his World Heavyweight Championship reign was not the best.
No, understatement.
I mean, it focused a lot around like Damian Priest, and was that the best first feud for Gunther as a World Heavyweight Champion? Not even his first feud. That was multiple months. It was multiple matches. Yeah. So I don't know. I think it left a sour taste in my mouth, and I'm just like, let's give me a year and come back to me.
What about Cody?
Well, I'd like it, but people would be pissed. People would be pissed.
We don't know what's next. I doubt Cena's with the power that he has, is going to give Cody a rematch. So what way is Cody going to go get it?
Yeah, and I think he's definitely returning either Saturday or maybe even Friday before Saturday night's main event. But he's definitely returning this week, so we'll see what they do with him. I think it sounds like we might be getting Cody and Cena at SummerSlam, but I don't know.
That could be how you get there. Is Cody wins the Money in the Bank, announces him the challenge at SummerSlam.
Ugh.
Not the most creative thing in the world, but
Cody would though. Cody wouldn't he would be like, "Oh, I'll give you a chance." Like, like come on.
And I think that's the one thing around the Money in the Bank briefcase is that there have been for every one of those surprises, there's only been so very rare the John Cena basically saying, "I'm going to do this at this time." Rob Van Dam, "I'm going to do this at this time." There are not very many people that can say that, hey, I've planned my cash in. Here's when we're going to do it. Cody Rhodes is absolutely that guy that would try to have some honor, even though he really doesn't have to, because, he's seeing what John Cena is trying to do to this industry that he loves so much that he is going to, he's not going to take the opportunistic route that he should. I don't necessarily want to see Cody in Money in the Bank, but I'd rather see him instead of Gunther because it's just not an accolade that Gunther needs. He's one of those guys that, because again, while the last year he's had more losses than his entire WWE run, he's a threat to win a title anytime you put him in a title match. That he doesn't necessarily need to have that element of surprise because he can beat you with a powerbomb, a Boston Crab. He could probably turn a body slam into a finisher at this point in his career. Like, there's so many ways that he can win a match, and he's so precise about how he does things that he just briefcase is beneath him, I would say.
No, I would agree. And I think he might benefit from the draft and moving over to SmackDown and getting some fresh feuds, some non-title feuds.
Yeah.
I think that there's a lot of guys over there that they need to be elevated by, somebody who might be a little bit, bigger name, and Gunther is at the top of the card. Like, get him over there and not put guys over, but just make some meaningful moments.
Yeah.
With some new people.
Yeah. Aleister Black, Gunther, sign me up.
Sure. Yep. I'm there.
That'd be awesome. That'd be awesome.
Podcast Dad, anything else that we should preview when it comes to Monday Night Raw tonight before we get out of here?
I can pull it up real quick. Caught me off guard. Thank you for that.
Okay, well, while he's looking that up, thank you guys so much for joining us tonight. Remember, do you already have it pulled up, or do you need me to?
No, I was saying vamp. Vamp.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, thank you. You can follow us on X and TikTok at Junkies Pod. Josh, thanks so much for joining us tonight, man. I know we had some tech issues and appreciate your patience with it. But as we kind of wrap up here today, where can everybody find you on social media?
You can find me on TikTok at ropebreak.media. That is the only place you can find me right now, but Twitter, Instagram coming soon. But follow the TikTok and you'll figure that out.
Oh yeah.
Awesome.
Cool.
Penta and AJ team up to take on Finn and JD McDonough. Jey Uso will go one-on-one with Bron Breakker in a non-title match. They have specified.
That's a bad idea.
Becky, Roxanne, Natalya in a qualifying. Zoe Stark, Rhea Ripley, and Kairi Sane in a qualifying. So Kairi Sane is back.
I'm sorry. Who were those? Are names I haven't heard in so long.
Yeah. Yep. Zoe Stark and Kairi Sane are in a match with Rhea to go challenge for the Money in the Bank. So I think we may know who's going to win that.
She shouldn't.
And then Grayson Waller takes on Sheamus.
Talk about people being pissed. If Rhea won Money in the Bank, oof.
Yeah,
People will be upset. People will be upset.
She's been so protected, and I mean, we are risking. If there was ever a year where the tide could turn on Rhea, it's this year. It is like it's sooner than later here because we're still waiting for her to have this redemption arc as far as finally beating Io, which will happen. It doesn't need to happen in 2025, but keep her away from the title picture as long as you can. This is where, again, the benefit of having credible non-title feuds for the women's division is paramount. I mean, she doesn't need to be anywhere near the mid-card titles. That's not our place. Just find somebody for her to work with one-on-one to have a great match or two or three. But keep her away from the briefcase.
I would agree.
Absolutely.
Well, gentlemen, it has been a pleasure to speak with both of you today. Josh, thank you so much for joining us, and certainly hope that this is not the last time that you were on our show. And thank you to everybody that joined us once again this evening. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel. Tell one person. You can like us on TikTok and at X at Junkies Pod. Follow us on Instagram at Wrestling Junkies Pod. Show some love for the Main Event Wrestling Network at @main_event_ on all social media platforms. A 24-hour stream starts this Friday, 8 p.m., goes until Saturday, 8 p.m. You can catch the Wrestling Junkies from 7 to 9 a.m. on Saturday morning. It's like we're fucking Good Morning America, dude. I'm excited.
Yeah, that or Saturday morning cartoons. Either one.
Yeah, fuck yeah. And, get your mimosas, get your Bloody Marias, get your breakfast shots. Yeah, it's going down. It's going down. So that is going to do it for us today. Thank you so much for joining us. For Josh at Rope Break Media, for the podcast dad, I'm Mr. Cincinnati. This has been the Wrestling Junkies podcast. Until next time, enjoy the grabs.